Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Singaporean Talks Money. So today I'll be talking about how it takes time to build up your portfolio, and especially in the case of mine, where currently is a small portfolio. And definitely this is one of my journeys to getting $100,000, and I'll be talking about a bit more about my plans going forward. So after doing a mid-year portfolio review just recently, where the numbers were looking pretty good for my portfolio, the market somehow changed in the second week of July, and my portfolio is seeing quite a bit of drop in gains. Of course, I check my portfolio value quite occasionally, but in the short term, I know that fluctuations are common, and my main priority right now is to build it up in terms of capital injection. And considering that it is a relatively small portfolio, of course, because of the small amount of capital injection each month, I'm just waiting for it to build up over time. So as all of y'all know from my mid-year portfolio review, my portfolio is at about $46,000. So if I were to compare my portfolio to a year ago, so you can see that in August 2020, since I didn't review my portfolio value in July, where in August 2020, it was approximately at $22,000. And this is just the stock portfolio alone. So this means that my stock portfolio actually doubled in a year. And looking back at this 1 year, compared to August 2020, that's actually quite amazing. 22,000 to about 45,000 currently. And this is not inclusive of my crypto portfolio, where there is a little bit of gains. So, of course, the profit is quite small, but I'm also happy about it, as most of the growth is due to capital injection. So this also reinforces to me that building up my portfolio takes time and definitely capital. So of course on YouTube, I watch YouTube videos on Meet Kevin and Andrew Jerk, and Meet Kevin buys stocks each time with 6 digits, like a few $100,000. And this is because he has a huge capital, in which he reviewed his portfolio recently in a video, and you can see most of his portfolios are about 12 million, a few million. And also Andrew Jerk mentioned in a recent Millennial Money that video that he dollar cost averages $1,000 into his stocks and cryptocurrencies every day in a month, and that adds up to pretty much quite a huge amount. So of course, watching all these videos do make me feel that the investments that I'm doing are so tiny compared to them. But of course, I have to sit myself back down, and as they always say, comparison kills the joy of achievement. I think looking at my own portfolio growth, I'm just happy that it has managed to double in the span of 1 year. So let's talk about capital injection matters in the early stages of building a portfolio. So of course I understand that everyone has their own pace, and as long as I'm doing what I can and I'm happy at the same time, why compare myself to others constantly? Alright, I'm going a little out of topic here, but earlier in the week I came across this article by FSMone, and it was about focusing on saving more versus focusing on investing. Are you being smart about it? It was a really insightful article as always, and what the article talked about was about 2 individuals who each earned $45,000 a year. So the first individual sets aside 10% of his salary, which is $4,500, to wealth building, and the other sets aside 20% of his salary, which is $9,000. So the first individual, A, works hard in his investments and averages a return of 15% per year, which is quite impressive, while B averages only 2% per year. And if you were to collate and calculate their total amount after 10 years, actually they are roughly similar in the total amount. So we will continue on, and FSMone show that after their portfolio reaches $300,000, their investment returns will matter more, as a negative return will cut their portfolio value and it will be difficult to make it back. And actually, after the portfolio reaches a substantial amount, an addition of $4,500 by individual A and $9,000 by B will provide a 1.5% and a 3% increase respectively in net worth. So you can see the capital injection as your total investment amount increases actually don't matter so much. Instead, when the portfolio value increases, your investment returns matter more. So this is really something that I learned from the article, is that in the beginning stages of building up your portfolio, capital injection actually matters more than your investment returns, because you are still building up a portfolio that is relatively smaller in value. After it has reached a substantial amount, the investment return matters more than the capital injection. You can read more about it on his blog, which is also super loaded with other amazing information. I'll put the link in the description below. So one of the main points, of course, he highlighted was that when the net worth or portfolio is small, funding more to wealth building makes a bigger impact than chasing great returns. And this really relates to my case right now, where my portfolio is at the stage where it's not very substantial. So currently I'm focusing on building up by contributing funds to it and putting whatever cash I have left into it, excluding my emergency funds. So let's talk about my plans for the rest of the year. So as many of you know, I have a FSMone ETF regular savings plan set up, and I contribute about $700 to $800 per month to it. And recently the biggest news definitely is that interactive brokers have removed their monthly maintenance fees, which is huge because I was actually hesitant to create an interactive broker account due to the monthly maintenance fees. Yeah. And moving forward, I will be setting up an account with interactive brokers and build up my $800 for a few months before buying it into VWRA, which is a accumulating dividends ETF. Because as of current, VT, which I'm buying through FSMone, the dividends are taxed at 30%, and also because it is a US ETF or stock, it is also eligible for estate tax. And I think in the long run, it's just more advantageous to switch to a LSE ETF, and especially so when I'm investing for the long term. So I also came across an amazing article by Frugal Youth Invest, where he explained a lot more on why Ireland domiciled ETFs really is more advantageous in the long run. And you can also read more about it in the link in the description below. And I think that's about it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this small update. Wishing all of you the best in your investing journey as we venture around and learn more. Stay safe and well. Thank you. Goodbye.